I'm about to share something that might make you uncomfortable, but you need to hear this. As a woman, I'm going to reveal the dark truth about how some women justify cheating and why they sleep soundly at night while you're left wondering what went wrong. Most men think cheating is about attraction or falling out of love, but the reality is far more calculated. There are 8 specific types of women who have mastered the art of betrayal without a single sleepless night. And if you don't recognize these patterns, you could be their next victim. I've seen these women operate. I've watched them destroy good men while convincing themselves they're the victims. They have an arsenal of justification so powerful that they genuinely believe they've done nothing wrong. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll never be blindsided again. You'll see the red flags, understand the psychology, and most importantly, protect yourself. But before I expose these 8 types, I need you to do something. Hit that like button right now. It helps us reach more men who need this message. Subscribe and ring the bell so you never miss these crucial insights. And drop a comment letting me know what city you're watching from. I want to see how far this message spreads across the world. Now let me be clear. I'm not here to bash women or create distrust. I'm here to give you the unfiltered truth that most people won't tell you. Knowledge is power, and you deserve to protect your heart and your future. So let's dive into the first type. Type number 1, the "it's just networking" professional. Let's start with the most dangerous one because she hides behind respectability. Meet the "it's just networking" professional. This woman has turned career advancement into the perfect cover for infidelity. She schedules mentorship dinners that stretch past midnight. Those after-work drinks, they're essential for building client relationships. When she comes home late, disheveled, with alcohol on her breath, she has a PowerPoint presentation ready about why this was crucial for her career growth. Here's what's really happening. She's using professional networking as emotional foreplay. That mentor isn't just teaching her about quarterly reports. He's giving her the attention and admiration she craves. Those business trips become weekend getaways, where anything that happens is just networking. The psychology is brilliant in its simplicity. She's reframed cheating as career advancement. In her mind, she's not betraying you. She's investing in her future. She tells herself, "This is just business. I need to advance my career. He's helping me professionally. And if there's chemistry, that's just a bonus." Watch for these red flags. Frequent after-hours events she can't explain in detail. Becoming defensive when you ask about specific colleagues. Suddenly dressing more provocatively for work, and having work contacts she won't introduce you to. When you question her, she'll make you feel guilty for not supporting her career ambitions. Type number 2, the emotional nomad. This next type treats love like a drug, always chasing the next high. The emotional nomad is addicted to the honeymoon phase, and when that fades, she starts shopping for her next emotional dealer. She doesn't plan to cheat, she just can't handle the natural evolution of relationships. When the butterflies stop and real love begins, she interprets this as the relationship dying. She needs constant emotional stimulation, validation, and that intoxicating feeling of being desired by someone new. Here's her pattern. She'll form intense emotional connections with new people, a coworker, a friend's boyfriend, someone she meets at the gym. She calls it deep friendship, but she's already emotionally cheating. She shares intimate details about your relationship with this person, creating an emotional bond that inevitably leads to physical betrayal. The psychology: she mistakes emotional intensity for genuine connection. She doesn't understand that real love requires working through the mundane moments, not running from them. She's constantly seeking that dopamine hit that comes from new romantic encounters. Her justification sounds like this: "I just don't feel that spark anymore. I need someone who truly understands me. You've changed. We've grown apart." But the truth is, she never learned how to love someone through different seasons of a relationship. Red flags include getting bored quickly in relationships, romanticizing past relationships as amazing initially before they lost their magic, needing constant emotional stimulation and drama, forming intense friendships with new people very quickly, and always having a backup emotional connection ready. Type number 3, the validation addict. This woman turns attention into oxygen, and she'll suffocate without it. The validation addict measures her worth through the male gaze, and when you stop providing that constant stream of admiration, she'll find someone who will. She needs to feel desired, wanted, and chosen, not just by you, but by multiple men. Your love isn't enough because it's guaranteed. She craves the excitement of conquest, of making new men fall for her charm. She calls it innocent flirting, but there's nothing innocent about it. Here's how she operates. She maintains a roster of male admirers through social media, work, and social circles. She gives each one just enough attention to keep them interested, but not enough to commit. When you fail to compliment her new haircut or don't notice her outfit, she'll run to these men for the validation you failed to provide. The psychology is rooted in deep insecurity masked by confidence. She has an endless need for external validation because she can't generate self-worth internally. Each compliment is a temporary fix, but the high wears off quickly, requiring more and more attention to achieve the same feeling. She justifies her behavior by saying, "I'm just being friendly. It's not my fault men find me attractive. You should appreciate what you have instead of trying to control me." She'll make you feel jealous and possessive for asking her to set boundaries with other men. Watch for these warning signs: constantly posting attention-seeking content online, maintaining multiple friendships with men who clearly want more, getting genuinely upset if you don't compliment her daily, requiring constant reassurance about her appearance, and always needing to be the center of attention in social settings. Hold on. If you're recognizing someone you know in these descriptions, hit that like button and keep watching. The next 5 types get even more eye-opening, and I guarantee you'll see patterns you never noticed before. Type number 4, the revenge seeker. This type turns every disagreement into warfare. The revenge seeker operates on a simple principle. If you hurt her, she'll hurt you back, with interest. And in her mind, cheating isn't betrayal, it's justice. She keeps a mental scoreboard of every slight, every argument, every time you didn't meet her expectations. Forgot her birthday? That's points against you. Came home late from work? More points. Had a bad day and weren't attentive enough? She's building a case for why her future infidelity is actually your fault. When she decides you've crossed her line, and that line changes based on her mood, she'll cheat not out of desire or love for someone else, but purely as punishment. She wants you to feel the pain she felt, multiplied. The affair isn't about the other person, it's about hurting you. The psychology here is toxic and immature. She views relationships as power struggles rather than partnerships. Instead of communicating her feelings or working through problems, she stockpiles resentment and uses it as ammunition for future warfare. Her justification is always the same. After what you did, you deserved this. You pushed me to this point. If you had treated me better, this never would have happened. She genuinely believes that your perceived wrongs justify her actual betrayal. Red flags include keeping score of every argument or perceived slight, threatening to leave during disagreements as manipulation, having a history of getting back at people who wronged her, speaking vindictively about ex-partners and what they deserved, and using silent treatment or withdrawal as punishment for minor infractions. Type number 5, the bored queen. Some women need chaos like plants need sunlight. The bored queen is addicted to drama, excitement, and emotional turbulence. If life gets too peaceful, too routine, too stable, she'll create chaos by crossing lines and convincing herself she's just having fun. She romanticizes toxic relationships and dramatic love affairs. She wants to be the heroine in a passionate, turbulent love story, not the woman in a stable, healthy partnership. Stability feels like death to her. She needs adrenaline-pumping situations to feel alive. When your relationship settles into a comfortable rhythm, which is natural and healthy, she interprets this as boredom. She starts creating problems where none exist, picking fights for the make-up intimacy, or seeking excitement through flirtation with other men. Eventually, this escalates to physical cheating because she needs that ultimate thrill. The psychology is addiction, specifically, addiction to emotional intensity and drama. She's never learned to find joy in peaceful moments or appreciate the beauty of consistent love. She mistakes chaos for passion and stability for stagnation. She justifies her actions by saying, "Life is short. I need to feel alive. You're too predictable and safe. I need someone who can match my energy and give me excitement." She frames your stability as a character flaw rather than recognizing her need for constant drama as the problem. Warning signs: complaining about life being boring, even during good times, creating unnecessary drama in friend groups and social situations, getting restless during stable periods in the relationship, romanticizing her past toxic relationships as passionate and always needing to be entertained or stimulated by external sources. Type number 6, the opportunity taker. This type doesn't plan to cheat. She just never says no when the perfect moment presents itself. The opportunity taker lives entirely in the present moment, and when opportunity knocks, she always answers the door. She's not actively seeking affairs, but she's also not actively avoiding them. She puts herself in situations where cheating becomes easy. Business trips, parties where you're not invited, girls' nights that somehow include attractive single men. When the moment is right, when the stars align, when she's had just enough to drink, she acts without hesitation. The key trait here is complete lack of impulse control, combined with an inability to think about consequences. She lives for immediate gratification and doesn't consider how her actions might affect her relationship, her partner, or her future. She's ruled by the moment. Her psychology is present-focused and compartmentalized. She separates actions from consequences in her mind. What happens on the business trip stays on the business trip. What happens at the bachelorette party doesn't count because it was just one night. She's mastered the art of mental compartmentalization. When caught, her justification is always, "It just happened. I wasn't looking for it. It didn't mean anything. I was drunk and it was a mistake." She genuinely believes that lack of premeditation makes her actions less harmful. Red flags include making impulsive decisions in other areas of life, drinking heavily at social events, having a "what happens here, stays here" mentality, not thinking through consequences before acting, putting herself in compromising situations regularly, and having a history of accidental boundary crossings. Type number 7, the double life architect. This is the most dangerous type because you'll never see it coming. The double life architect is skilled at compartmentalization to a frightening degree. She maintains completely separate realities that never intersect in her mind. She has two distinct versions of herself: the loving girlfriend or wife at home, and the single woman living her secret life. Both versions are real to her because she's created separate mental compartments for each. She sees no contradiction because these realities never meet in her psyche. She's methodical, organized, and incredibly disciplined about maintaining her double life. She has separate phones, separate social media accounts, separate friend groups. She plans her deceptions with military precision and never leaves evidence behind. She can look you in the eye and lie without any physical tells, because in that compartment of her life, the lie is her truth. The psychology here involves severe cognitive dissonance and an almost supernatural ability to compartmentalize. She's not struggling with guilt because she's convinced herself that these are completely separate aspects of her life that don't affect each other. Her justification is chilling in its simplicity. These are completely separate parts of my life. One doesn't affect the other. What you don't know can't hurt you. I'm still the same person with you. She genuinely believes she can love you while simultaneously betraying you. This type is nearly impossible to catch because she leaves no digital trails, maintains perfect alibis, and never displays typical guilty behavior. Warning signs are subtle. Being extremely organized and secretive about personal items, having different personalities in different social settings, being unusually good at explaining away inconsistencies, and having unexplained time gaps or activities that she accounts for with detailed but unremarkable explanations. Type number 8, the entitled princess. The final type believes the world owes her everything, and normal relationship rules simply don't apply to Her Royal Highness. The entitled princess has an inflated sense of self-worth and believes her needs supersede everyone else's, including basic relationship agreements like fidelity. She views herself as special, deserving, and above the moral standards that govern regular people. If her partner can't meet all of her needs, and her needs are extensive and ever-changing, she feels completely justified in seeking fulfillment elsewhere. In her mind, this isn't cheating, it's getting what she deserves. She expects constant catering to her desires, needs, and whims. She rarely reciprocates the energy she demands from others. When you fail to meet her ever-escalating expectations, she doesn't see this as an opportunity for communication or compromise. She sees it as permission to seek what she needs from someone else. The psychology is rooted in narcissism and an extreme sense of entitlement. She believes she's fundamentally more important than other people, and her happiness takes precedence over everyone else's, including yours. She's never learned to consider other people's feelings or needs as equal to her own. Her justification sounds like this: I have needs that aren't being met. I deserve to be happy and fulfilled. If you can't provide everything I need, I'll find someone who can. I shouldn't have to sacrifice my happiness for anyone. She frames her cheating as self-care and personal empowerment. Warning signs include expecting constant catering to her needs without reciprocation, feeling that rules don't apply to her in various life situations, having unrealistic relationship expectations that no single person could meet, rarely showing genuine empathy for your feelings or needs, and speaking about relationships transactionally, what she gets versus what she gives. Gentlemen, I've just given you the blueprint that most women would never share. These 8 types have one thing in common. They've convinced themselves that their actions are justified. They don't lose sleep because they've rewritten the rules in their favor. They've created elaborate mental frameworks that allow them to betray you while maintaining their self-image as good people. But knowledge is power. Now you know what to look for. You can spot the patterns before they destroy your life. You can protect yourself and choose better partners. You can recognize these red flags early and make informed decisions about your future. The question is, what are you going to do with this information? Are you going to ignore the red flags because you're hoping things will change? Are you going to make excuses for behavior that deep down you know is unacceptable? Or are you going to value yourself enough to walk away when you see these patterns? Remember, none of these types will change without serious self-reflection and professional help. You cannot love them into being faithful. You cannot be perfect enough to prevent their cheating. Their betrayal is about their character, not your inadequacy. If this opened your eyes, smash that like button and share this video with every man who needs to see it. Subscribe for more unfiltered truth that nobody else will tell you. Comment below. Have you encountered any of these types? What city are you watching from? Let's build a community of men who have each other's backs and refuse to accept betrayal as normal. See you in the next video.